Yes, Prince Harry, the man who fled the monarchy to save the planet by flying private to every climate summit on Earth. Because nothing says eco-warrior like torching jet fuel on your way to a TED Talk about carbon footprints. But don't worry, South Park-style satire has entered the chat. So here's the deal. Harry, the royal renegade turned wellness podcaster, has been globe-trotting again, this time to speak at yet another climate-focused event in Singapore. He reportedly flew private, again. This is the same guy who once claimed he only has 2 children for the sake of the environment. According to one eco-watchdog, the prince's flight emitted more CO2 than an entire village does in a month. But hey, he's just raising awareness, right? This isn't his first time either. Back in 2019, he flew private 4 times in 11 days, while lecturing the rest of us about sustainability. So naturally, this week's parody episode of South Park-style satire takes things to cruising altitude. This week's South Park-style parody, Flight of the Carbon Pharaoh, opens with Kyle Doom scrolling through a climate change subreddit, while Cartman loudly unboxes a suspiciously branded EcoJet TM toy that makes farting sounds every time it lands.
Prince Harry just flew to Singapore in a private jet to give a speech about flying less.
He's not flying less, Kyle. He's flying better. With intentions. It's called ethical aviation.
Wait, is this the same guy who said having more than 2 kids is irresponsible, then flew private to Aspen for a meditation brunch?
He's doing it for us, Stan. His CO2 is like woke. It's noble gas. You wouldn't understand.
Cut to Buckingham airspace, a literal floating runway suspended above the clouds. Harry descends from a carbon-neutral throne strapped to a golden blimp, holding a soy latte in one hand, and an endangered parrot wearing a hemp diaper in the other. Cartman, now wearing a velvet tuxedo and sunglasses indoors, steps forward as his spiritual aviation manager.
Your royal footprint, the carbon levels are perfectly performative, sire. You radiate guilt trademark.
I only travel for impact and naps, but mostly impact.
The Global Gaia Summit 2025 kicks off in a giant solar-powered amphitheater made entirely of reclaimed kombucha bottles. Behind Harry, a projection flashes images of melting glaciers, Australian wildfires, and 6 separate clips from Harry and Meghan on Netflix.
We must be the change we board on.
Did he just say board on?
That's poetry, Kyle. You're just not on the tarmac of transformation.
Back in South Park, the boys attempt to calculate Harry's total emissions using Mr. Garrison's carbon footprintometer, a clunky retro machine powered by irony and dead polar bears. It promptly explodes.
It says he used up all the trees in Canada and, a moose.
Dude, he's carbon speed running.
Meanwhile, Meghan appears via satellite from their Montecito mansion, surrounded by eucalyptus-scented candles and a softly humming solar ring light. She stares directly into the camera like she's filming a Lululemon hostage video.
Harry's energy isn't toxic. It's curated.
Like a Spotify playlist for the end of the world.
They're literally turning pollution into vibes.
Things escalate when Cartman holds a press conference to unveil his latest startup, Eco Elite Jet Club Trademark, a members-only collective for ultra-famous people who want to scream about the environment from 30,000 feet.
First rule of Eco Jet Club. Never explain your emissions if you're wearing Loro Piana.
That's not even a rule, dude. That's just an outfit.
Exactly, Kyle. Exactly.
The next scene shows Prince Harry descending into South Park Elementary's climate fair, inside a heli yoga pod that runs on reclaimed seaweed oil and emits calming lavender fumes. He floats 3 feet above the ground, wearing linen robes and biodegradable Yeezys.
I come not as a prince, but as a humbled heli monk.
You literally just flew here for a 3-minute speech.
And yet, I landed in your hearts.
Cue a soaring musical montage as Harry Somo walks across various tarmacs in different countries, shaking hands with fellow woke jet setters, Leonardo DiCaprio, Oprah, Bill Gates, and the ghost of Al Gore's PowerPoint. Cartman appears in a beret, filming it all for TikTok.
Carbon credits, first class fights, save the earth with runway lights.
It's so moving.
Dude, That's the worst climate musical since Ice Capity's Fire Edition.
Back at Cartman's garage, Kyle hacks into the EcoJet Club database and reveals the ultimate horror. Harry's travel itinerary includes more beach resorts than UN conferences, twice the spa visits of Leonardo DiCaprio, and a layover at a Goop-sponsored chakra cave.
Dude, his footprint is bigger than Cartman's cholesterol.
Are we sure he's not just doing climate talks for the minibar perks?
He's giving hope, Stan. Inspiring hope from infinity pools.
Suddenly, the climate fair goes full chaos when Greta Thunberg skydives in from a protest blimp, flinging a compostable pie straight into Harry's face.
How dare you carbon cosplay?
No, is
Don't worry, I'll offset this with a sponsored post.
In the final scene, Harry boards another private jet, this one shaped like a dove, promising to reflect deeply on his actions from the rooftop spa of a 5-star Maldives resort.
I'll plant a tweet.
And I'll book your next impact journey. We're trending in Bhutan.
And that's how Prince Harry saved the planet, by accidentally setting it on fire with a vision board and lavender-scented hypocrisy. Climate change has never looked this glossy. And there you have it. A man fighting climate change one luxury jet at a time. But hey, at least he feels bad about it, right?